Welcome to the second transfer roundup of MCFC Connect. Quickly, I'd just like to say I really do apologise if you can hear that dog barking outside. It's been going on for a while now, and there's nothing I can do to stop it because it's not my dog. So yeah, but anyways, onto the stream. And also really quickly, I know I've been saying it recently, but thanks a bunch for the support I've had recently. Really does mean quite a bit. But anyway, on with the stream. Yeah. So I'd like to start with obviously we made the signings of Josko Vardiol and Kovacic. I've already covered them in a previous transfer roundup, so I don't need to talk about them all that much. But obviously I think both of them have had good starts at City, and hopefully it's only going to get better. Hopefully Vardiol can reach his potential, and we can discover some really nice qualities in Kovacic, which I believe we can for both. But anyways, we're going to move swiftly on to Lucas Paqueta. We've heard from Fabrizio Romano that a bid is imminent from Manchester City. It's probably going to be north of 95 million quid, which you could say we are overpaying, which I wouldn't disagree with you, because it's a lot of money for a player that was signed for 51 million last summer. Didn't exactly put the world on fire, and was in a relegation battle for most of the season with West Ham, although he did just win the Conference League, so we had to give him that. But anyways, he was good at Lyon, and if Pep Guardiola wants him, I think we should do absolutely whatever it takes to try and get him. If you want the truth, this is a player that Pep clearly rates. He's liked him. He's been a big fan for a while, and I think it's important that we fulfill Pep's needs, especially now that Kevin De Bruyne is out. It's only going to make the need to sign Lucas Paqueta more. And yeah, it's just crucial that we do get a player like Lucas Paqueta in and to help us out. Sorry for the dog, I literally can't do anything about it. I am sorry about that. But anyways, we're going to fly straight on to Jeremy Doku. I don't know as much about Jeremy Doku. All I know is that he's very explosive in his pace. He's got an alright eye for goal. And he's one of Rennes' star players. And we're going into crucial steps by way of both of these deals, to try and get both of them over the line. So, hopefully we can get both of them over the line soon, within a week, hopefully. But yeah, we are entering the most crucial steps of the both of them. We know Rennes are expecting a good fee for Jeremy Doku, not a small fee. I think they want. Some rumours are saying 47 million quid, some are saying 60 million. So within that region, between the 40s and the 60s, is what we're definitely going to have to pay for him. But again, with lost Riyad Mahrez, we need a winger, and I think that Jeremy Doku wouldn't be a bad signing. He's only 21, so he's got bags of time to improve himself. And yeah, so hopefully we can get a hold of both Jeremy Doku and Lucas Paqueta. But now I'm going to jump straight to the more interesting stuff, the stuff where we've had big updates just out of the blue. So we'll start with Laporte as he's first on there. We've all known that Laporte has been on his way out this summer for a while. We knew he wasn't happy last season with being on the bench for all that time. And wait there. And sorry. So yeah, apparently City have accepted a bid from Al Nassr For Laporte, we don't know. I don't know what the bid is. If someone does, feel free to comment it down below. We don't know what exactly the offer is from Al Nassr. Hopefully it's something decent, you know. At least 40 million quid, hopefully. But anyway, beyond the point, we just know that it's down to Laporte now, and personal terms. I really don't know why. European teams aren't in for him. He's a real top-class centre-back, you know. Most City fans won't forget what he was like at the end of the 2021-2022 season. You know, he was playing with injury for like the last game or two. You know, he really helped us get over the line, and who knows where we would be without him. Honestly, like truly, we probably would have been in a nightmare of a situation with basically no centre halves at the back for us. But yeah, it'll be a shame to see Laporte go, because I think he is good, but he deserves to have minutes, and there's really not too many signs of him getting minutes here. So a move is probably better for him and the club, sadly. But yeah, it's just personal terms for Laporte now and Al Nassr, and so that if it is to happen, that'll probably be finalised in the next few days. On to Stefan Ortega. He's been heavily linked with Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich want him to come in and be their new number one. Pep Guardiola, though, is desperate to keep hold of him. You know, he's been saying in interviews, I don't want to lose Ortega, and if we do lose Ortega, then we will have to go out into the market and find a new keeper and sign. So I hope that we can keep hold of him, because I agree, Ortega's a great backup goalkeeper. He's probably the best backup goalkeeper in the league, although you could argue David Raya now at Arsenal / Aaron Ramsdale, because both of them are obviously good. But last season, if there was any goalkeeper that's on the bench for a Premier League side last season, I don't know why you wouldn't take Ortega. He is good, and he's good with the ball at his feet. You know, he fits in comfortably, doesn't he? Sure, he's got an error in him, but a lot of goalkeepers do. You know, it's natural to have a mistake in you. And hopefully we can keep hold of Ortega. But at the same time, it'd be interesting to see who City went to sign. Although I think it would be extremely difficult, considering the type of goalkeeper Ortega is, and Edison is really. They are not easy to just come across out of thin air. But yeah, apparently City might be offering Ortega a new contract or something. I'm not sure if I'm pulling that out of nowhere, but I think they might be. But I'll jump to Laporte now. I'm just jumping back to Laporte real quick, because I forgot to mention something with him. Apparently Real Madrid, I'm not sure how good the source was on this one. Apparently Real Madrid are going to potentially try hijack the deal. It would make sense, because obviously Real Madrid has just lost Eder Militao, who's like their top centre-back at the moment. Or one of their top centre-backs. So to sign a defender like Laporte wouldn't be the worst idea. He wouldn't cost you a fortune. He'd come in for a decent fee. But yeah, hopefully if Laporte does go, we get a good fee for him, and that money could potentially go towards Paqueta, Doku, or a different player entirely. But I'll jump to Cole Palmer now. I did lightly bring this up the other day, but I'll talk about it again now, because we've had little updates. Not really updates, but just almost clarifications on what will happen. Obviously, he's been linked to be in the Lucas Paqueta deal. because of how that deal works is apparently City and West Ham have said that the inclusion of players in the deal wouldn't be bad. They'd be fine with it. So yeah, it would be interesting to see how that goes with Cole Palmer. Apparently it could be a loan till the end of the season for Cole Palmer at West Ham. And also, a good thing is on Lucas Paqueta is West Ham actually eyeing up the replacement from Ajax, Mohamed Kudus. I'm really sorry if I've said that terribly wrong. I do apologise if I have. But yeah, apparently they are eyeing up a replacement, which does suggest that negotiations are going well, potentially. Because why would you eye up a replacement if you're not worried about him leaving? So I do think that Paqueta is going to be at City, and I do think that because of the rumours of them eyeing up a replacement, but I don't think City should let Cole Palmer go, considering the signs he's shown this season. Scored a cracking goal against Arsenal. Scored a nice goal against Sevilla. He's scoring 2 goals in big games. So hopefully we keep hold of Cole Palmer, and hopefully we get Lucas Paqueta without any worries and all that. Next, we're going to jump onto Joao Cancelo, because we have had a little update on him. As you could have all probably figured, Barcelona want to obviously buy Joao Cancelo from City. They're a big fan of him, or especially Xavi anyway. But Barcelona, we all know what their financial situation is. It's terrible, and they want to sign Cancelo for on a loan. And City, they obviously just want to sell him, get him done now, send him off. But City are like, alright, you can have him on loan, but you're going to have an obligation to buy 60 million euros. Barcelona, I don't know how they thought that this was going to happen. Barcelona want to do a loan with an obligation to buy 25 million euros. That is absolutely crazy. Everyone knows Cancelo has the potential to be the best fullback in the world, and I think he'd tear it up in the Liga. I can't lie. I think he really would. And I think that's the type of league that he'd really suit. Especially because Barcelona, they did not concede much goals last season, did they? In the Liga, that is. So that would just mean Joao Cancelo gets more time up that field to attack, which is what he is best at. But yeah, I think City and Barcelona just really need to find a fee for Cancelo, get this saga out of the way, honestly. Because I'm a big fan, I was a big fan of Joao Cancelo, but I just disagree completely with the stuff that went on in January. It shouldn't happen. No players that is bigger than the club, like I've said in the previous streams, Joao Cancelo should just go at this point, and I think City want that to happen. And to be honest, I think most City fans want that to happen. I know there's some City fans that'd like him to have a second chance, but just not for me, if you want the truth. And I know my dad feels the same. But anyways, on to James McAtee, a player that City clearly rate highly, because they've kept hold of him, have denied supposed £30 million offers, but Fabrizio Romano reported that that James McAtee's been added to Ajax's list. Ajax obviously bought Carlos Borges for offers. Have added him to the list. I can't remember if it's as a replacement for if that player West Ham are trying to sign. I can't remember if it's a replacement for him or if it's just a player that they're interested in signing. All we know is that he's added to the list. I don't believe they made an offer or anything like that, to my knowledge anyway. I'll check Fabrizio Romano out in a minute and see if he has any updates on any of these transfers. But James McAtee, I do wonder what's going to happen to him, because doesn't seem to be getting the favoured word over Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer does seem to be the preferred player by Pep, I guess. Probably because Cole Palmer's been in the side a lot longer. He's really been in this team for probably 3 years now, if you count the 2021 season to 2022. And last season and now this season, so it's not quite 3 years, but it's going to be 3 seasons if Cole Palmer stays. So James McAtee is definitely the second favourite, I think. I think he's got what it takes to be a big midfielder. I just wonder if he'll be at City or not, if you want the truth. I'd like it to be, because I like academy players coming out from growing up into the first team, but it doesn't always work out that way, and it usually doesn't. So hopefully the McAtee case gets solved soon, and we'll see if he heads off or not. If he doesn't, I'm not too fussed. Just means we got another option in the midfield. And if he does, it'll be a shame, because he's a good, big academy talent. Obviously, if it's just a loan, then that's nice. But it'll be a shame if he does go, because like I said, he's a big academy talent. We'll move on now to other news, which is stuff that isn't really like selling or buying. So the other three, you could probably guess it by now, are contract extension news. Obviously, Kyle Walker's recently, recently, we had like an official here we go, locked in by Fabrizio Romano for a contract extension, which is just massive for City, because it looked like he could have been on the way out, Kyle Walker, but now he's going to be staying, and I really hope that he does stay for ages and ages. I suspect that because he's only got 1 year left on his deal, I suspect they'll get a 1 year contract extension, but with an option for another. But yeah, I'm interested to see what it is, because we don't actually know. I think it's crucial that he's staying there, because he fits the system so well, and he offers that pace that not many others do. But anyways, on to Bernardo Silva, someone that has been looking likely to leave for the past 3 years, and we've basically had a here we go, Fabrizio Romano. A contract has been verbally agreed by Fabrizio Romano of a 1 year contract extension leading into 2026, which is just humongous, really. Bernardo Silva is such a talented player, and the fact that we're going to have him now, that's locked in, and he's signed the contract and he wants to stay. I think that's just amazing for us. I'm just so happy that we managed to keep him, because I didn't think we'd keep him. I really did not think we'd keep him. I didn't think we'd keep him last summer either. But it's amazing that we have, and we've managed to pull out on top on it as well. So, great news regarding Bernardo Silva. And now on to Rico Lewis. he's obviously just signed a new contract until 2028, which is just fantastic news. I'm so happy. Because, you know, he's an academy talent like Cole Palmer and James McAtee and even Phil Foden, and looks like he's got a real future at the club. We could have guessed that from last season with his involvement, but yeah, Rico Lewis, one for the future, and really is showing good signs. The fact that he's getting all this game time now, you know, he started against Burnley, which I didn't expect him to. So yeah, I think that is just great news that Rico Lewis will be continuing at the club. And that basically brings everything I've got on the screen to an end. I'm going to quickly check news of Fabrizio Romano. If you're watching this back, which is the most likely way you'll be watching it, then I hope you have enjoyed the video. Fabrizio Romano, nothing on his Instagram. Fabrizio Romano. No. Nothing from Fabrizio Romano, from Fabrizio. Nothing City related anyway. And I'll quickly check David Ornstein. Nope, last update he gave us was the Laporte news. Oh, but also, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this. Maximo Perrone, if you didn't know, we signed him in January last season. He signed for the club. I think he's like 20 or 21 years old. And he is probably going to be going on loan to Las Palmas. They've been negotiating for City, and apparently he's a big target to join them. So we'll see how that goes with Maximo Perrone. Hopefully he has a great season there and he comes back as a really promising midfielder. But yeah, that really concludes everything I've got for you guys today. If anything big does happen, I'll be live as soon as I can be. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow. And by the way, really quickly, I'd just like to mention that there is a video going live tomorrow at 12 PM. I've scheduled it. It is my match review for Sevilla and City winning the UEFA Super Cup. I hope you enjoy it. And leave a comment down below on this video, on anything you'd like us to do. Tell me if you enjoyed the video. Tell me if you enjoy our content overall. And if you do, then hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully you'll be able to comment, because it doesn't usually let you comment. So yeah, hopefully that won't be the case this time around. But anyways, thank you guys a ton for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.